Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News, Monday, April 14th, 2025. Stand up for your country. Well, I talked with President Trump briefly over the weekend, and he says there's going to be some very good news for the country coming up shortly. We were talking about economics and foreign policy in those two areas. Now, I didn't push him on it. It was a casual conversation, but I have to say, I've known the man 35 years. He's never misled me one time, and he's been mad at me. But even then, he would just kind of ignore me or send me a text or something telling me how terrible I am, that kind of thing. But he hasn't misled me. So if he says there's good things ahead, I tend to believe it. But I can't get any more specific than that at this point. When I can, I will. I can tell you I have the best contacts. Hannity get very good contacts in the Trump administration, very good. But I'm on a par, and I'm not competing with Sean. I'm just telling you that there are certain people who know what's going on, and there are certain people that don't. And so I'm glad you're here listening to me, because I do. Now, I want to spend a little time today on Donald Trump, the president, and how he is governing, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So everything to Trump is personal. Everything. He's not like most presidents and most politicians where, they forget about things after 24 hours. They're mad and then they forget. Trump does forget about things, but he incorporates his policy vision on a personal basis, right? What he wants, what he believes. And so you see a lot of personal stuff. And right now there is a controversy, not a major one, but somewhat of a controversy about how he's treating certain people in his past, okay? Now, some say it's revenge. Others say it's retribution. Let's define the two terms first. Revenge is to harm someone as punishment for harm they have done to you. And I think every human being on the planet has at one time or another either committed revenge or contemplated it seriously. Retribution is deserved and severe punishment. Okay? So that is, let's say, the Nazi Party in Germany or the Tojo regime in Japan. You annihilated them. We annihilated them with the help of our allies, because if we did not, they would continue murdering people all over the world. That wasn't wrong for us to annihilate them. I know some people say Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we've gone through all that. But for me, if I'm the commander-in-chief, I'm the president, I'm annihilating both of them. I'm not shooting prisoners of war or anything like that, but it's total victory. Okay? And if they don't stop, they die. Retribution. Again, if you did not do that, these people would continue their evil. It's like that in real life. You all know people who are evil. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Most of us know people who are evil. They hurt people time and time and time again. And some of them are stopped and some of them aren't. If you stop a person like that, you have to have the facts and the evidence. Okay? That's retribution, not revenge. All right. So let's look at four human beings that Donald Trump is after. John Bolton, former National Security Advisor. Mark Esper, former Defense Secretary. Bolton wrote a book and said that Trump was stunningly uninformed and unfit to be president. Esper wrote a book and said that Trump was unprincipled and wanted to shoot protesters. Okay. So those guys are in the revenge zone. Donald Trump is, he took away their national security thing, and if Trump could hurt him, he'd hurt him. I don't know about the retribution there because I don't think Bolton and Esper can do any further damage. It could be wrong, though. Two others. Former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, and Director of European Affairs for the U.S. National Security Council, Alexander Vindman. Milley wrote another book. Milley was quoted in Bob Woodward's book as saying that Trump is a fascist and a dangerous person. Vindman testified in front of Congress in November 2019 about Trump talking to Zelensky in a, quote, improper way. All right? Now, Milley and Vindman are both finished, again, just like Esper and Bolton. They can't do any further harm, but Trump has got them on the radar screen. Law firms. There are 10, maybe more, that Trump is denying any federal access. No business can be done. Paul Weiss, awful firm, terrible, I had to deal with them. Covington and Burling, Perkins Coie, Wilkie, Farr, and Gallagher. Weiss folded. It's giving Donald Trump $40 million in pro bono legal services, freely. So did Farr and Gallagher, $100 million. Perkins Coie, they represented Hillary Clinton in 2016 up to their eyebrows in the phony Russian investigation. Covington and Burling, they're representing former special counsel Jack Smith. Now here, all four of those firms, in my estimation, could and will, once Trump leaves the presidency, do damage to people. This is retribution here to me on these four, and others too. Okay, because they're in business to hurt people for money. That's what they do. They hurt people for money. Okay. Now here's one. This is an interesting call. 60 Minutes. So Trump has ordered an investigation by the Federal Communications Commission. Why? Well, last night, here's what he said on social media, quote, almost every week, 60 Minutes is being sued for billions of dollars for the fraud they committed in 2024 presidential election with their interview of failed presidential candidate Kamala Harris, mentions the name Trump in a derogatory and defamatory way. But this weekend's broadcast tops them all. They did not one, but two major stories on Trump. One having to do with Ukraine, which I say is a war that never should have happened if the 2020 election had not been rigged. In other words, if I were president. And the other story is having to do with Greenland, casting our country as led by me, falsely, inaccurately, and fraudulently. I am so honored to be suing 60 Minutes, CBS Fake News, and Paramount, unquote. Okay, so CBS News, is this revenge or retribution? There's no doubt 60 Minutes is trying to get Donald Trump. That's a fact. There's no balance there at all. New regime over there, relatively new. Okay, they hate him. They hate his guts. They hate everything he stands for. They're trying to hurt him. Now, by hurting Trump, you hurt the country, I think, by trying to destroy the president of the United States. So I'm putting this in the retribution column here. How about you? Finally, this is not unusual, President Trump's revenge or retribution take. I'll give you 5 modern presidents who were pretty much as bad as Trump. Teddy Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt, John F. Kennedy, and John F. Kennedy used his brother, Bobby Kennedy, who was Attorney General, to get who he wanted gotten. Lyndon Johnson, the absolute worst, and Richard Nixon, who had a printed enemies list. Now, I write about all of that in Confronting the Presidents. So this isn't new. These guys, and I'm not doing whataboutism, I'm just taking the historical record and showing you that once a person is elected president, a lot of them go after people. There's no doubt that that has happened and is happening. Now, I am sympathetic somewhat to Trump's jihad, let me use that word, against his opponents. Because for 30 years, ever since I started doing national commentary, I've been attacked by vicious, horrible people who hurt other people for money, for power, for ideology. I know who they are. Now, some of them I have taken care of and some of them I haven't. I can't for whatever reason. But my instinct is to take them off the board, not hurt them physically or anything like that. I do it all legally, all right? Because they don't just do it to me. They're just evil, in my opinion. But I've experienced the evil directly, up close here. And, you know, when I see them, and they never, if somebody apologized, if somebody said, look, I'm sorry, I maybe overdid it, I don't really like you, but I shouldn't have used those tactics, I would forgive them. I'm compelled to do that because I'm a Christian. I have to do it. But they don't. They're arrogant, and they do it to other people, and I watch them. So I have to be honest, my emotion lies in the Trump area, and that's the memo. Let's talk about something big pharma doesn't want you to hear. The government and drug companies suppress treatments like ivermectin and others, not because they didn't work, but because they threatened their billion-dollar vaccine rollout. They want control over your health, but when it comes to your health, you should be in charge. I trust All Family Pharmacy. They provide ivermectin, antibiotics, more essential treatments that can be hard to find. They handle prescriptions shipped directly to your door in days, no hassle, real options. Stock up now so you're prepared, whether it's for illness, travel, or just peace of mind. You never know when you'll need these medications. So please go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Bill. Use the code BILL10 for 10% off. Again, allfamilypharmacy.com/Bill, code BILL10. All right, we got a really good YouTube commentary here. YouTube.com/Bill O'Reilly. It's about these books on Biden. There's 4 of them. This is such a phony, oh boy. You really want to hear this. So, and it's free, youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. So check that out. You will be happy you did. Let's go to the mail. We got Linda Klang in Point Lookout, New York. Hey, Bill, I'm confused. Is there presently a 10% across the board tariff happening? I appreciate the pause in the tariffs, but want to know why there are any at all. Just what I told Bolin, Linda. The VAT tax jacks up the price of all American goods going into Europe. It's not a tariff, but anybody buying U.S. products got to pay that tax. So what Trump has done is put a 10% on everybody else so we don't get hosed in the tax realm. Tomorrow I'm going to tell you what the rates are in Germany, France, UK, Spain, those countries in Europe. And you'll see how it's very hard to sell American products there. We'll do that tomorrow. We got Frank, concierge member, and that's a great gift for Mother and Father's Days. Trump's tariff problems haven't yet been resolved. His battle with China could cause a lot more losses in the stock market. I don't trust his financial advisors like Peter Navarro. Hey, nothing we can do about it. He's the president, right? I'm not telling you any of these guys are geniuses. But he's the president. Ruth, I've been concerned a long time with the amount of land, real estate, and debt China owes in the U.S. How much is it? How do I know? China's not showing me its books. China buys stuff through companies in America. They're not going to tell you what they have. It's a totalitarian regime. Mike Clark, Baldwin, New York. I'm trying to understand why China, a communist country, needs U.S. dollars to finance its military buildup. We will have this tomorrow in the Talking Points memo. I'm just going to give you a preview, Mike. So we had a guest on last week, an expert in Chinese trade, said China's not using the vast amount of money it takes out of the U.S. every year for its military. That is not true. And tomorrow you'll see it. All right, so pretty interesting. Michael Hawkins, Orlando, Florida. Please educate me who exactly pays the tariffs. And does the money go to the U.S. Treasury, and can it be used to pay down our debt? Yes, it goes to the Treasury. Yes, it can be used to pay down a debt. So when someone sends something to the United States, the company sending it, like Toyota, they pay the tariff. There it goes, right to the Treasury. Glenn Gruber, Half Moon Bay, California, one of my favorite towns. Windy, but Half Moon Bay is a good town, right on the Pacific Ocean. If Trump can make tariff negotiations work for both China and the USA, he should put more effort into improving relationships between our two countries. Okay, I think that's fair. If we can get a détente on trade, maybe we just, lessen the tensions. That'd be good. I'm with you. Gregory, one of your best columns is the column on Biden and the people who stabbed him in the back. All right, at 2 Barack is the name of the column on BillO'Reilly.com. It's free. Anybody can read it. So that's what Gregory's referring to. One of your best columns. You bring clarity and insight that cannot be found elsewhere. I put a lot of work into these things, so I'm glad you liked it. Greg. Sharon Goodberry, Tucson, Arizona. I've watched you from the very beginning at Fox News. I know about your hatred for cliches. My question, what are people supposed to say in place of cliches? Well, how about some thoughtful words and phrases? How about thinking about it? Okay? Look, when you use at the end of the day, it's just gibberish. Okay? You can easily say in the long run, or this might happen momentarily. You can speak like an educated person instead of falling back on, well, we'll see. Well, come on. Think. People don't think when they speak. That's the problem. Linda Brown, Costa Mesa, California. I drink my coffee every morning out of my not woke mug, to the total disdain of my children. My daughter's a PhD, she's very smart, and she's still woke about a lot of stuff. That's okay, Linda. Just all you got to do is, you don't have to gloat it. You just kind of sip out of your knot. And maybe if your daughter's sitting over there, you give her a little of this. Do it with good humor. Good humor. Linda, thank you for getting the mug. Okay, let's go to the store. We got Mom's Day coming up. So I suggest a premium membership or concierge membership for your mom. Get a book free, any book you want. Killing the Witches, a lot of women like that book, okay? So that might be something. You get Killing the Witches and a mug, you give it to mom. We have the Not Woke mom mugs, okay? And we give you a great price on these two. But if you buy a concierge or premium membership, you get the book free of charge, okay? So we hope you check that out. And we have the Not Woke gear for spring. Got the golf shirts, we got the t-shirts, we got the hats, we got everything for you. And they're flying out of here. We have to reorder. We're not buying from China. Word of the day, do not be obtuse. Obtuse. I know some obtuse people. Back with my voyage to the DMV. Rates have dropped and it's time to take advantage. Many of us struggle to keep up with everyday bills, eggs, coffee, and end up forced to use our credit cards. But homeowners, listen up. Interest rates have fallen into the fives. It's nearly a quarter of the average credit card rate you are paying. American Financing helps homeowners like you save an average of $800 a month by tapping into your home's equity and wiping out high interest debt. The best part? No upfront fees to get started. Credit card rates are insane. And if you are carrying a balance every month, you're stuck in an endless cycle. Break free today. Please call American Financing and see how much you can save. You may even delay the next 2 mortgage payments. 888-462-9557. 888-462-9557. AmericanFinancing.net. A new administration will be sworn in soon, as we all know, but who knows what could happen before that? I'm not taking any chances, which is why I have an emergency food supply from My Patriot Supply. Right now, they are offering $100 off their 3-month emergency food kit. It's got 2,000 calories a day, 3 months, plenty to get you through an emergency. Their food kits last for up to 25 years of storage and even come in rugged, weatherproof buckets. Please go to preparelikebill.com right now to order your 3-month emergency food kit. I've got an emergency food supply because my safety and security is worth it. Again, please visit preparelikebill.com to order your 3-month emergency food kit right now. All right, final thought of the day. I had to go and get my real ID driver's license in New York State. Nightmare? Wasn't that bad. I have to say, it wasn't that bad. Now, what is a real ID? So as of May 7th, we all have to have it if we want to get on an airplane, or you have to bring a passport. But you go into the DMV in your state, and you fill out an amazing amount of forms. You show them your old license. You bring your passport. You got to bring your social security number, and they give you a real ID. Why are they doing this? Because the feds say this ID is more secure and reliable, and it's harder to fake it. So there's a lot of bogus driver's licenses and social security cards and all that. This is very hard to fake. So you're not going to be able to get on a plane if you don't have this real ID unless you bring a passport. So I went down. And everybody's very professional. I waited about a half hour. It wasn't too bad because I was watching the crowd, and I'll do a little commentary on that a little later on in the week. But I have to say I was pleasantly surprised. Okay, so you got to do it. Check it out. And we really appreciate you watching and listening on the radio to the No Spin News tonight. See you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.